Good morning. Jir here, back again. Another daily draft, and it is officially the off season. So, you know what it is. We're already in drafts. We'll hop right in. Pick number 9. Now, this is actually a little board draft, not a big board. I am just a little limited on time this morning, and there was one person left for the little board and 8 for the big board. So, I just hopped on in here. We'll get this draft. The off season is here, which is, man, it's always kind of a bummer. NFL fans know now we have 7 months without football. However, at least for us in the best ball community, we're drafting pretty much every day. So we still get some football in our lives. That feels good. But now we just get to just think and obsess about what's going to happen next year for the next 7 months, and then just sweat it out during the season after we put hours and hours and hundreds of drafts in during the off season. So it's a fun time of year, a little bittersweet. Now Sundays are going to be a little more freed up, can actually do some more things, some more social things, and work on some projects, stuff like that. So always a little bittersweet. I don't know if you guys are big on other sports or anything. I'm pretty much like a football exclusive guy, and the UFC too. I love watching the UFC. So football, UFC, that's pretty much what I watch. And yeah, now I don't get those sports in my life anymore. So it's a little bit of a bummer. But we got these drafts. We got our drafts. So this is a little board, not a big board. There was just one person waiting for the little board, and I don't quite have the time to wait for the big board today, unfortunately. I'm going to go ahead and take St. Brown. Whenever he's at the top of ADP, I usually just take him. I'm happy with that. Big, proud Lions fan. One of the most consistent, solid players in fantasy football. Just always seems worth the pick. And, he gets spike weeks too. He gets long touchdowns. He gets a lot of catches. It's really all you can ask for. Ashton Jeanty seems like he's going higher and higher. Pretty much a lock in the first round now. I remember when this first opened, he was going in the middle of the second. And I do have some teams with nice combinations. I've only drafted Christian McCaffrey once, and I got Jeanty to fall back. So that's a nice, unique start right there already. And one that's going to be pretty unlikely for the rest of the competition. It's one advantage of drafting throughout when this goes. I'll take Trey McBride. I don't think I've drafted Trey McBride yet. So let's get our first share of Trey McBride. Getting a tight end this early, like, he's so talented. Him and Brock Bowers are complete outliers at the position. But as far as the structure of your team, it just complicates things a little more and makes you feel weaker at whatever position you don't draft there instead. We're going to only be drafting 2 tight ends for sure whenever we spend this much on one like Trey McBride. So, hey, my boy's back. Chato. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Like, my dyslexia wants to say Chatio. And I'm probably going to call you both. So, yeah. Listening at work, sweet, man. It always makes the time pass by faster. My job is shift work, so I rotate between a day shift, afternoon, and graveyard as well, usually on a 2-week rotation. So I'm working afternoons this week. And yeah, I won't be ever having a consistent streaming time because of that, but I'll get it in at some point, whether it's in the morning or evening or afternoon. Jeremiah Love falling back to the turn. Interesting. Oh, wow. Hampton fell to 22. Gibbs and Hampton. I'm not sure if I've seen that start before. Interesting. Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley at pick 7. Got the high testosterone start right there. Don't want to mess with Bobby Silv. Don't want to mess with Bobby Silv. Yeah, the Super Bowl was yesterday. Kind of went exactly how I expected. A lot of field goals and some second half garbage points. Pretty much exactly how I thought it would go. Which didn't make it the most fun, but I went to a Super Bowl party, which I don't normally do. Usually I kind of just like to focus on the game, but I didn't care too much about the game this year, so went to a buddy's house, which was fun. It was fun watching the game with those guys and making some like little prop bets and side bets just with each other, like $5-10 here and there. It was a good time. Okay, I like this. We're gonna get a running back here. Kenneth Walker, Super Bowl MVP. I'm sure he's gonna use that in his contract negotiations for sure. This is a tough pick. Josh Jacobs, Kenneth Walker, or Bucky Irving. Who do you like more there? Josh Jacobs goes. So we're looking at Bucky Irving or Kenneth Walker. And I'm just going to take Kenneth Walker. I'm going to take Kenneth Walker, the new Super Bowl MVP. I wouldn't be surprised if people steam him up in drafts because of that. And Bucky Irving, super talented. Just the injury risk is always there, being the size that he is. Respectfully, you know. He does catch the ball. Wow, this guy gets a nice, interesting start too. James Cook, Achan, and Bucky Irving. Could be really good, could be really bad. And wow, in this draft as well, there's 5 teams that started with 2 running backs and 3 teams that started with 3 running backs. There's a team with Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, and Brees Hall, and a team with James Cook, Achan, Bucky Irving, a team with Derrick Henry, Chase Brown, and Travis Etienne. Oh, wow, I didn't even realize that this guy at pick 12 went Derrick Henry in the first round and Chase Brown in the second round. That is not a good idea. So I'm all in favor of getting unique and getting unique combinations. However, I'm pretty sure that I actually have a team with like Bijan, Derrick Henry, and Chase Brown, or Gibbs, Derrick Henry, and Chase Brown. I'm quite certain I have a team like that at least. So you're going against that or Derrick Henry, Chase Brown, Travis Etienne. Like, it's great to get unique, but be a little smart about it. Don't get guys that go at the 2-3 turn at the 1-2 turn. That's just not smart. That's forcing it. We went with Lad McConkey in the 4th round. Feels like a very nice value. Very nice value with Mike McDaniel scheming him up. Expect that Chargers offense to bounce back next year. JMO went right after. It's always so hard for me not just to take JMO. But we had St. Brown. We'll get Lad McConkey. Again, Cam Scadabo in the 4th round. Oh, and this guy went with Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. I don't know what people are thinking doing this. I've seen it pretty often, actually. Guys just getting like a couple elite quarterbacks really early, and they're not even on auto draft. I don't know about that. Maybe these guys are new to best ball. This guy does have a red badge, though. At 08. Interesting. Good for us, though. Definitely going to have to watch where the running backs go with so many guys that are drafting heavy running backs. DeAndre Swift even gets pulled up to the 4-5 turn. Interesting. There's 3 teams that started with 3 running backs. Might be the most heavy running back start I've seen in a draft so far. And there's also 3 teams that started 3 wide receivers. There's a team with Jamar Chase, Rashee Rice, and Chris Olave, and then 2 teams with 4 receivers actually with CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith. So this guy went double Dallas, double Philly, which I think is a bad decision. Nothing wrong with getting double, but that's just expensive, man. And he went with Jaden Daniels, so he's going full NFC East. And the team next to him started 5 receivers straight. Wow, this is interesting. So we're 1 pick away now. Drake May, I assume, is just going to keep falling and falling as drafts go on. And I'm going to go ahead and take Jalen Waddle. He's probably going to be one of the only Dolphins I draft a little heavier this year. Just being in the 5th round, it feels like good value, especially with Tyreek Hill's uncertainty. I don't expect Tyreek Hill to play for the Dolphins again, possibly not even play football again. So Jalen Waddle in the 5th round, even though their offense is probably going to be trash and we don't know who their quarterback's going to be yet, that feels like a fine pick. And someone I can just see rising in drafts and not necessarily falling. So Drake May does go at pick 59. He was going at like the top or middle of the 4th round when this first opened, and that was a hard pass for me. I could not do it. I was not drafting him there, and he just keeps falling. So there goes Caleb. I'm tempted to take one of these rookies in Cardinal Tate or the Lemon, and I'm tempted to take Marvin Harrison to stack up with Trey McBride and just get the Arizona double. Who do I want to go with? I'm going to go with a rookie. I like the Lemon, but we'll switch it up and take Cardinal Tate. He fell a little bit. We want to mix him in as well. I can't just be drafting the Lemon every draft, so we'll take Tate. At this point in the year, you don't need to think about it that much, to be honest. Draft some unique combinations. Get guys that are falling. Yeah. So our start right now, a little wide receiver heavy. St. Brown, Trey McBride, Kenneth Walker, Ladd McConkey, Jalen Waddle, Carnell Tate. Wow, this guy went 6 receivers to start. Okay, that feels a little extreme to me. Unless he's just going to completely stop at 6 receivers and then just get like 9 running backs or something, but still doesn't feel the best. And these running backs are getting pulled up heavy. Ramondre just went at 68 and Bashal Tootin went at 69. The Lemon fell all the way to 70. Wow. That's a good value there, but at least it went to the team with Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. So interesting draft. Very interesting draft. This guy went JSN, Malik Neighbors, T-Mac, Devontae Adams, Terry McLaurin, Mike Evans. I don't really like it. Yeah, I guess like receivers were the best picks on the board there. I probably would have gone with a running back in the 3rd round instead of Tedrow McMillan, but that's just me. Devontae Adams not my favorite pick in the 4th round, just with his age. He is super talented and will get touchdowns, of course. But wow, Stafford went 74. People really don't care about ADP in this, which is good to note. Jackson Dart, 76. Stacking up with Cam Scatabo, I guess. Interesting. Very interesting draft. Jalen Warren, Tyler Warren falls all the way to 78. Wow. So this guy who started 6 receivers gets a nice value in Tyler Warren. And let's see who's available for us. I think I might just take Justin Herbert here and secure my quarterback. I am very tempted to try and push him around the turn. There are 2 teams with quarterback. I'm very tempted to push Justin Herbert, but I'm just going to take him now. When someone like Matthew Stafford is going pick 74, I'll just take Justin Herbert and not risk him. We have Lad McConkey, so that's a nice stack there. And I'm probably going to have to take a running back here. I just kind of need running backs. I could go with a fifth receiver and then get some running backs in the next couple rounds. But I want to keep my options open in the next couple rounds as well and not be boxed into taking a running back. However, if Ricky Pearsall's there, I might have to take him. I might have to take Ricky Pearsall. We'll see. We're 2 picks away. Okay, Ricky gets taken. So I'm going to go with one of my favorite picks. As long as he doesn't get taken with this pick, I'll go with Blake Corum. Why is Tony Pollard going ahead of Blake Corum? I guess he's been like consistent, getting 1,000 yards, but Blake Corum, one of my favorite values in the draft, will happily take him here in the 8th round. He just reminds me of Dave Montgomery. Gets involved, gets like 40% of the carries, sometimes more. Can catch the occasional ball as well. And Sean McVay doesn't really favor either one at the goal line. So whoever's in gets the touchdowns. Going into his 3rd year, just feels good. And if Kyron Williams takes a step back at all, Blake Corum likely to step up. So I like that. This is a decent team so far. Decent team. Justin Herbert, Kenneth Walker, Blake Corum, St. Brown, Lad McConkey, Jalen Waddle, Carnell Tate, and Trey McBride. Pretty well-rounded. I do tend to draft a little more well-rounded. And then as the draft cycle goes on, I get a better feel for the board, get a little more extreme with my positions. Okay, wow. So the guy who started with 6 receivers gets Tyler Warren and then gets a 7th receiver in Michael Pittman. What is he doing? What is he doing? Trevor Lawrence falls all the way to 96. Yeah, there are some real weirdos in this draft. We got a guy with 7 receivers through 8 rounds. We got a guy with 2 quarterbacks through 4 rounds. Interesting. Guys like Matthew Stafford getting drawn up 2 rounds ahead of ADP. I might end up taking Jared Goff with my next pick. Just getting another quarterback stack. And then hoping a running back comes back to me. Woody Marks gets taken. That's someone who I always like to look at. Let's see. Actually, I might be able to push Jared Goff just because Sam Laporta and Jameson Williams are on the other side of me. So if Jared Goff's available, I'm going to try and push him to 112 because the other 3 teams already have at least one quarterback and they don't have any lines players. So if these 2 teams don't take Goff, I'm going to try and push him. And I might, this range here is just nice. Like DJ Moore feels like a good value at 105. We do need another running back. Tyler Algier could be the pick. Although if DJ Moore is available, he's just going to have to be on the team. Someone who can get big plays, long touchdowns, spike weeks. Okay, Jared Goff does get taken before us, which is a bit of a bummer. But we'll take DJ Moore. And then still might look at a quarterback next. Might do it. We could take Darnold if we want to pair him with Kenneth Walker and get a back stack with Seattle later, which is something I quite like. Although Darnold not the best fantasy quarterback. Or we can reach up for another running back, but I don't necessarily want to reach. Gadsden, we compare with Justin Herbert as well, but I already have Trey McBride. So getting a second tight end here doesn't feel like the best value and use of a pick. JCM goes already, so here it's either going to be Darnold or Gadsden. Would I rather have a second tight end or a second quarterback right now? And I really do want to take Gadsden, but I think the smarter move is just to take Sam Darnold, which is what we're going to do. There's just better tight end values later, and the quarterback values later are just not quite there. So that's why we're doing that. When we have Trey McBride too, Jacoby Brissett immediately becomes a fantastic value with the news that Kyler Murray is going to be looking to get traded and not be on the Arizona Cardinals next year. Jacoby Brissett is under contract. He played well. They're not really in a position to compete, so I kind of expect him to be the starting bridge quarterback next year. And in these 20-round drafts when he's going where he is, I think that is a good value. Gadsden just keeps falling. Wow, Gadsden 119. That's just nice, man. I'm probably going to be looking at Tyrone Tracy with my next pick. We need running backs. We only have Kenneth Walker and Blake Corum, which is quite thin. So I might be looking at 7 running backs in this draft, probably. If we only get 2 quarterbacks, we don't really need Jacoby Brissett. A third quarterback always provides a nicer floor. Okay, if Gadsden's there, I'm going to have to take him with my next pick. If not, we're going to be looking at Tyrone Tracy. Hopefully. Running backs have been going high in this draft. And I don't really have the best feel for guys later in the draft at running back right now, which is kind of why I like to go a little heavier early on. But we're also not going to force it. We're going to take the value that's available, especially when we're doing so many drafts. Don't force a certain build. Take what the draft board gives you. Okay, there goes Gadsden all the way at 123. Wow, he falls 20 picks past ADP. That's a great value. And it's to the guy that took Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Still don't like your team, but it's looking a little better with the values that he's gotten. So who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Is Jonah Coleman good? I don't know anything about this guy yet. I usually learn more about the rookies around the combine, where you can actually see them compared to each other. Matthew Golden goes. So this is an easy pick for me. We'll take Tyrone Tracy. I think Tyrone Tracy is also a really nice value, especially because I don't like Cam Scatabo this year. Just coming off that horrific injury. I think he's being drafted more so based on his personality and couple big games rather than his outlook for next year. And he's someone who I just assume is going to fall as the draft cycle goes on. So I'll get my shares to him later. I kind of tend to avoid some of these seriously injured guys this early because they always fall. Just look at Ayuk last year. Look at Chris Godwin last year. I wasn't drafting those guys at this point in the year. Why bother? Rashid Shaheed goes. Okay. Kenneth Gainwell, Emmett Johnson. We need a running back. And I'm just going to have to take one of them. Kenneth Gainwell played well. Let's just draft him. I don't think I've drafted Kenneth Gainwell yet, so we'll get a share. We don't need to think about it too much. We need the running back. Romeo Doubs, Travis Hunter were the next available wide receivers, and then Brandon Ayuk and Tyreek Hill. Not guys I'm necessarily super high on, so we'll just take the running back position. We need those points there. Kenneth Walker, Blake Corum, and Tyrone Tracy and Kenneth Gainwell are 4 running backs. Feels okay. Kenneth Gainwell, it's hard to imagine he has as good of a season as he did last year. But if he's back in Pittsburgh, Aaron Rodgers really likes to throw in the ball, and if Aaron Rodgers is back too, then probably a good value. We'll see, though. We'll see. Emmett Johnson, Trey Benson go. AJ Barner is someone I've been drafting later as a tight end as well, and he had a good Super Bowl. I do like the value of him. In this next pocket, I'm 7 picks away. I like these few receivers right here, Josh Downs, Jalen McMillan. I think there's a big tier break after these players. Travis Hunter's still there too. Travis Hunter is just don't know how much he's going to play on offense this year. And look at all these tight end values, man. Hunter Henry, Juwan Johnson. I don't like Mark Andrews, but AJ Barner, Theo Johnson. It's kind of why I don't love going with the tight end super early, like Trey McBride or Brock Bowers, but they're so good and talented that you just have to mix them in and figure it out from there. There goes Travis Hunter, so we don't have to worry about him. And I'm going to be drafting Josh Downs or Jalen McMillan with my next pick. Granted, they're available. I just think they're fantastic values. And part of me doesn't want to have to pick between them, but looks like I'm going to have to. All right, Zebraman, who you taking? He takes Mark Andrews, so Josh Downs or Jalen McMillan? I think I'm going to go Josh Downs on this team. I just feel like it. And then we're looking at our next picks are 160 and 177. 160 and 177. So if I want AJ Barner to stack up, I'm going to have to take him with my next pick, most likely. Although I don't need to force it. If Jalen McMillan's there, I might just take him as well. Jordan Mason's a decent running back pick in this range as well, who I should consider. Travis Kelce goes. I have to remember, this is a little board too. It's just a $3 draft, so it's always better to push it in those ones. Isaiah Likely goes, so some of these tight ends are going. Yeah, I should just take AJ Barner. Then we can very happily stop at 2 tight ends. We get a stack with Darnold. Jordan Mason's nice, but I'm going to be drafting a lot of running backs, so now we can happily stop at 2 tight ends. And we have Justin Herbert and Sam Darnold stacked up as well. I'm going to add Jacoby Brissett to the queue. Keep an eye on him. And then we're going to be looking at running backs with upside. Tajay Spears, maybe some rookies. I don't know who Katrin Allen is. Rashad White, I think, is a good value. He's just going to catch some balls for some team. Kamani Vidal would be a decent Chargers correlation. We'll see what comes to us. We'll see what comes. So pretty balanced team so far. 2-4-6-2 with Justin Herbert, Sam Darnold, Kenneth Walker, Blake Corum, Tyrone Tracy, Kenneth Gainwell, St. Brown, Lad McConkey, Jalen Waddle, Carnell Tate, DJ Moore, Josh Downs, with Trey McBride and AJ Barner as our tight ends. Very happy with my tight ends. Pretty happy with this team overall if we can pull it together at running back. Although in such a large tournament like this, like getting solid players at 2 or 3 position groups and then kind of just relying a little bit on luck for your last one feels like a pretty good strategy because we need luck to win this competition. There's no doubt about that. So just hoping that you hit on the right guys at the right positions is totally fine. Don't overthink it. Tajay Spears falling back to me would feel pretty good. Sean Tucker as well. Just not sure if he's going to have that big of a role. Jonathan Brooks could be one of the best values in the draft or an absolute waste of a pick yet again. And I don't mind waiting a little bit in the draft cycle to find out his role a little more. Joe Mixon goes, so we're 1 pick away from Tajay Spears. That would feel really nice. Come on, Zebra Man. Don't do it to me. Don't do it to me, Zebra Man. He goes Jonathan Brooks. So we'll take Tajay Spears 20 picks after ADP. I like it. Now that makes me very happy that I took AJ Barner instead of Jordan Mason. Try and read the draft board. That's why it helps. We saw a lot of tight ends go right before AJ Barner. Thought there was a tier break. So we took him instead of the running back, and it paid off. Going into his 3rd season as well, just an ascending tight end. Tight ends usually just get better their first few years in the league, as that's one of the hardest positions to learn. Okay. So we can take Kamani Vidal again at pick 184 if he's available, or Jacoby Brissett. And I think I might lean towards Vidal and try and push the quarterback. Because we really don't need a 3rd quarterback. Oh, fuck. Vidal gets taken. Never mind. Okay. We could get Nicholas Singleton, Penn State rookie. And I think that's what I'm going to do. We'll take an upside swing on a rookie coming from a big school. So that feels okay. We need those running back points. We need the upside. So that's what I'm going to do. And hopefully Brissett comes back to us. There's still a good chance that he falls back to us. We don't need another tight end, so we can get rid of those. 2-6-6-2 right now with Justin Herbert, Sam Darnold, Kenneth Walker, Blake Corum, Tyron Tracy, Kenneth Gainwell, Tajay Spears, Nicholas Singleton, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Lad McConkey, Jalen Waddle, Carnell Tate, DJ Moore, Josh Downs, with Trey McBride and AJ Barner as our tight ends. Feels pretty good to me. And I do like the odds that Jacoby Brissett falls back. So we'll see if he does. Who took Marvin Harrison? This guy has Kyler Murray and Dak Prescott. So maybe he doesn't know that Kyler's not going to be a Cardinal anymore. Bobby Silv. Taking a lot of old heads. He got Joe Mixon. He has Brandon Ayuk, Saquon, Christian McCaffrey, Breece Hall. How old do you think this guy is? I think he's got to be up there. Just my guess. Terrence Ferguson. Terrence Ferguson feels like a nice value in the 17th round. Just some upside at tight end. we have Jacoby Brissett does get taken. That's a bummer, but we didn't need to force him. I'm totally fine just getting 2 quarterbacks on this team. And we can always draft like an Aaron Rodgers as well. Actually, that might be a nice decision when we have Kenneth Gainwell who catches passes. Taking the chance that Aaron Rodgers comes back to the Steelers feels like a good bet to me. There's not really much downside. Now, the guys on the other side of me, this guy's 1 quarterback, this guy's 4, this guy's 2. JJ McCarthy is still available as well, but I don't know. I think I'd rather take Aaron Rodgers than JJ McCarthy. Even though he does run the ball, he's JJ McCarthy, you know? I do want to draft Brian Robinson as well, and I want to draft Torrey Horton. You know what? I'm actually going to draft Torrey Horton first. Come on, draft Torrey Horton. We'll draft Torrey Horton, get another stack with Sam Darnold. He feels like a decent pick in the 200s. And take the chance that Aaron Rodgers comes back to us. This guy has TJ Hawkinson. Okay, this guy just drafted Pat Freiermuth. Damn, so he's going to draft Aaron Rodgers. He's not going to come back to us. It might have been a mistake, but again, we don't need to force it. We don't need to force it. In the little board, it's a $3 draft. So I'm totally fine with taking the chance and pushing it, trying to get a more valuable team. But Manhammer, these names are so funny. Manhammer, I'm sure he's going to take Aaron Rodgers right here. Right? You only have 1 quarterback. You just took Pat Freiermuth. And he takes Tua? Okay. Interesting. I'll take Rodgers as a 3rd quarterback. In the 18th round, it feels totally fine. So we have the hypothetical stack with Aaron Rodgers and Kenneth Gainwell. And 1 round 20th pick that I like to take, especially if I'm making a bet on Pittsburgh, that I don't see anyone else taking, is Calvin Austin. Like, why is Calvin Austin going completely undrafted? I don't really know. He's young. He is explosive and gets long touchdowns. In the 20th round, that feels nice. So I'm going to be going with 1 running back and 1 receiver to end it off. We'll take a running back with our next pick and then look to draft Kenneth Gainwell with our last pick. Or sorry, Calvin Austin with our last pick. Which feels like an okay team. Might need some things to go right for us, but I don't hate it. Damn, this guy who drafted 7 receivers in the first 8 rounds got Calvin Ridley at pick 174. Like, why? Why? Thank you for your donation. Some very interesting draft strategies at this point in the year. And who might I be looking at running back? We could just take Caleb Johnson if he's there, another Pittsburgh player, or just take an upside swing on a rookie. Why is George Helani getting drafted now? I'm just going to draft Caleb Johnson if he's there. Why not? In the 19th round, what's the downside? Most of the players you're going to draft here are probably going to be zeros anyways. Might be a little heavy on Pittsburgh correlation, but who cares? We're one pick away. Take KJ next. Caleb Johnson is still there. We'll take him. And then we needed one more receiver. I think I'm just going to draft Calvin Austin for a hypothetical stack with Aaron Rodgers. Getting like 4 Pittsburgh players, maybe not the best idea, but they finally have an offensive head coach, so maybe they're just better. They could just be better. Rashad Bateman still feels like a nice upside swing at this point in the draft. Gets long touchdowns. Mac Hollins too. Feels fine. That's kind of the archetype that I like to get at this point in the draft. Just get the guys who are going to be inconsistent, but when they do hit your lineup, they're going to get 15 to 20 points. Revis Island. We were drafting with Kanye West the other day. Got some big names. One pick away. Come on, Manhammer. Who are you taking, buddy? Takes Mac Jones. Interesting. We'll take Calvin Austin for our last pick. So the final team at quarterback looks like Justin Herbert, Sam Darnold, Aaron Rodgers. Running backs, Kenneth Walker, Blake Corum, Tyrone Tracy, Kenneth Gainwell, Tajay Spears, Nicholas Singleton, and Caleb Johnson. Receivers, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Ladd McConkey, Jalen Waddle, Carnell Tate, DJ Moore, Josh Downs, Torrey Horton, and Calvin Austin, with Trey McBride and AJ Barner as our tight ends. Feels like a good team. Solid. A lot of upside. A lot of youth. I like it. We have Justin Herbert stacked with Ladd McConkey. We have Sam Darnold stacked with Kenneth Walker, Torrey Horton, and AJ Barner. And Aaron Rodgers with Kenneth Gainwell, Caleb Johnson, and Calvin Austin. Not bad. I like it. That's all I have time for today. Just one draft. So thank you very much for watching. I'm Jiri, drafting every day. I love you. Joy is beautiful. End stream.